Welcome to the Friday Value video, and we're going to finish up the topic of flexibility today. We've been covering the types of physical fitness, what proper training, physical training is and isn't. And we talked about a lot of the benefits of flexibility training last week. And I talked about a muscle can be tight, it can be taut. And I may have surprised some of you with the fact that if your goal is to improve flexibility, stretching is not what's been seen in the studies to improve that. And it's very easy to injure yourself if you are overzealous and get some scarring and end up with less mobility than you had when you started, which is the opposite for why you're stretching. So I just wanted to finish up this week on this. There is research that on stretching, it's been going on for over 100 years now. So we've got a lot of data regarding stretching, and flexibility is not necessarily a major component of physical fitness. I know that might sound strange. I'm not saying that you need to be tight like crazy and you can't move a joint, and that means that you're physically fit. What I'm saying is that how flexible you are does not predict or validate your health and your performance outcomes if you are an otherwise generally healthy individual. And we're looking at the things that really matter when it comes to the major components of fitness are your body composition. How much muscle versus fat tissue do you have? Your cardiovascular endurance. Are you able to do cardiovascular work, aerobic work? What's your muscle endurance? What's your muscle strength? Those things are actually seen as being major components of fitness that matter. So while stretching, it's not really seen to reduce your risk of bad things happening. And it doesn't improve the things that matter most when it comes to being overall healthy and fit. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't have range of motion. This gentleman here ideally would be able to touch his toes if he had full range of motion. What's limiting it? Is that hamstring so tight because it's trying to stabilize his pelvis? And it's not necessarily age-related issue, but a time-related issue. How long has it been since he's able to touch his toes? So just know that, the benefits of stretching, they've been shot down by research for the last 2 to 3 decades. And so when it comes to rehabilitation and addressing pain issues, it's not really the end all be all that you may have been led to believe. So what I have found works the best for people is dynamic loading. And that is using the body in a way that is authentic, movements that you actually would do. There are, believe it or not, I forget how many exactly now, 9 or 10 or more muscles in the body that the way that they're connected to the joints, you can't even fully stretch them. And the quads are one of them. And I know that shocks people, but you really can't stretch your quad because your heel or your calf muscle will hit the back of your thigh before your quad is fully lengthened, and your hip will only extend a little bit. So it has limited extension. So the quad really can't be stretched. And there are a lot of other muscles the same. So it's not the end all be all, but you can improve your mobility. You can improve your range of motion by doing 3-plane training. And this is 3 planes of motion, moving the body from the nose to the toes, the hips, the knees, the ankles, the trunk, the shoulders, the neck, the entire body moving through flexion, extension, abduction, adduction, internal rotation, external rotation. Full range of motion in all the major joints is what you really need in order to perform well in daily tasks of a normal life or in sports. You want to be training your body in a way that's authentic, that meets your needs. I hope this is helpful. And next week, we're going to move on to balance training. And hopefully, you'll learn some things that you didn't know before. It is my passion to share things that are not well known, but ideally should be. Okay, we'll see you next week.